نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to continue on with the topic of what is fasting, and specifically the fasting of Ramadan. Last week we talked about what is fasting, and as a review we defined the fast of Ramadan as an obligation to abstain from eating and drinking and marital intercourse from start of dawn until sunset, which is the time of Maghrib, with an intention to fast. We also talked about the niyat, which was the intention, that the intention is an action of the heart. It is in the heart. Its place is the heart, and that it's best to make the intention during the nighttime. But then, if one were not able to make it during the nighttime, that they do it as long as it's done before the time of zawal. We talked about the difference of opinion between the limits of when one needs to make the intention, and that if it goes beyond the limit as stated in the Hanafi school, then one needs to repeat that prayer. We will talk about those situations as well. Today we will be talking about who is required to fast. What are the conditions for the one who is fasting? So if you look at this, who is it obligatory upon, and what makes it an obligation? First, one needs to be a Muslim. The obligation is upon Muslims, it is not upon non-Muslims. But often it is so that non-Muslims, out of solidarity, would fast with the Muslims and to experience that. But specifically, the obligation is upon the Muslim, and rewards are based upon one's entrance into the faith. The second condition is that one must be sane. The reason for that is that sanity carries with it responsibility, and insanity, there is no responsibility for the one who is insane. Then after that, one needs to be an adult. Okay, so and the age of maturity depends between male and female. For women, typically the age can start as early as 9 years old, but it can also be beyond that. It just depends on each individual. For boys, typically it could be 12 years and up, but the limit would be about 14 years, and in another opinion, I believe it's 15 years, but we will clarify that as well. And then all those were not exempt due to a valid excuse. So certain people may be excused depending on the situation, and we will talk about what those excuses are and who are exempt from fasting. The next thing I want to talk about is the proof, or what makes it an obligation. What is the proof? What is the source of the obligation upon the Muslims to fast in Ramadan, and why is it fard? Why it is an obligation? As you can see my screen, the proof is a Dalil Qat'iy, which means that it is taken from the Holy Quran, from Surah Al-Baqarah, the chapter of the cow, which is the second chapter of the Quran, verses 183 through 185. If you look at your screen, you will see that the verses are reflected on the screen. Let me see here. So the first verse, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe. So this is addressing the Muslims. Kutiba alaykumus siyamu. Fasting has been prescribed for you. Kutiba, which is it has been prescribed for you, or it has been written for you. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. As it was prescribed, or as it was written upon, or as it was prescribed upon those before you, min qablikum la'allakum, so that you may tattaqun, so that you may become God conscious. Okay. So that is one of the verses, and then the other verses also talk about those who um, are sick and who are exempt. But I'm going to jump to the skip that particular verse and go to ayat number 185 and a portion of it. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه. So the meaning of this word, loosely translated by me, is شهر رمضان الذي. The month of Ramadan is that أنزل فيه القرآن, is that in which the Quran was revealed. هدى للناس, guidance for humanity. وبينات من الهدى والفرقان, and clear guidance and criterion. Okay, so the criterion means that the Quran is showing us that which is right and wrong, because that is always called to question is who's right and who is wrong, who defines that. For the Muslims, it is defined in the Holy Quran and by the life of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Quran, one of the names of the Quran is Furqan, and so then continuing on, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْهُ. So whosoever among you witnesses the month. Which month? Ramadan, the beginning of Ramadan. فَلْيَصُمْهُ. They should fast in it. Okay, so you can see that from these ayat, from these verses specifically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the Muslims and saying that it has been prescribed for you, and that the one who sees the month, the one who witnesses the month, that they should fast in it. You know, that's a clear distinction, a clear obligation or proof of the obligation of the of fasting in the month of Ramadan. Okay, so in this section we learned about what the conditions were for the one who needs to fast. They must be Muslim, they must be sane and adult, and that they should not have any valid excuse. Those are required to fast, and the obligation is in the Holy Quran. In the next session, inshallah ta'ala, we will talk about who are exempt and see if we need to cover any other sections. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fasting in Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our intentions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to see the entire Ramadan through, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower you with many blessings of this month. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وسلم عليه وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.